cat's going to be pissed. For the dog and squirrel chase scene, they hired an animal trainer who trained them every day for months to run through the set. When it came to the day to finally shoot what they'd been planning, Chechik showed up to the set and saw everyone standing in a huddle, shaking their heads, and he knew something was terribly wrong, and asked what was going on, and they said, "We have a problem." "Okay, what?" "The squirrel's dead." I said, "Holy fuck, we're shooting that today." And the animal trainer turned and said, you know, they don't live that long.
He was only 2 days away from retirement!
Pretty much. We still had to shoot the scene, so we used an untrained squirrel.
No.
Just total chaos.
Wild Mokosh.
It also took a fucking week to shoot.
Damn it.
Poor bastards. Ellen's hand on Clark's crotch when the police tell them to freeze was a joke Beverly was playing on everyone in the set to see if they'd notice.
Made no goddamn sense. I loved it.
Yep. She says they did 3 takes and no one even mentioned it.
I'm sure Chevy Chase didn't mind.
Would you? Beverly D'Angelo, 1980. Fuck yeah. Just saying. Hope the cops show up.
It's the weirdest euphemism I've ever heard.
Isn't it, though? But it makes perfect sense if you've seen the movie.
Oh, baby, the cops are showing up today.
There you go. We got to freeze. Just saying. Chevy asked John Hughes why there is no Clark gives Russ a man-to-man talk in this, like there is in the other 2 movies. John said that there was one in an earlier draft, but someone said, "Take it out, it's not needed." Johnny Galecki happened to be in the room and said, "What's the point? We could film it, and since no one wanted it anyway, it'll get cut." Ultimately, they didn't film one, and in an interview with Rolling Stone, Johnny said, "I'm an idiot. I literally talked myself out of what could have been a classic scene with Chevy Chase." Chevy thinks very differently of it, saying, "Now Galecki's making $100 million a year, and I'm sitting here talking to you, so who won?"
Brick!
Yeah. You could have done well, but you wanted to get fired off of Community.
Yeah, you chose to believe one of the biggest shows on NBC at the time.
That's your own fucking fault, asshat.
Yeah.
For the opening, Chechik said, "I always wanted the animated opening you see in the film, but Warner's balked at the cost of doing an animated title screen or scene."
Huh! I'm assuming that's what the sound of balking means.
I would assume. So rather than get into a fight, I designed another title sequence with a Christmas song sung by a Jamaican who sounded like he had no teeth, and you can barely understand the words. Then the replacement title sequence looked like an odd French art film with white tiles on a black background. When I proposed this to Warner Brothers, they said, "We think we like the animated titles. They're great."
Classic Hollywood move. Mm-hmm. Give them something crappy so they'll say no to it, so they'll eventually say yes to the thing you want them to say yes to.
Pretty much. Everybody does it. Good for him.
It's how Matt Stone and Trey Parker got away with the puppet sex scene.
Yeah. We can't cover that, so just look that up. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Lindsey Buckingham of Fleetwood Mac was offered the opportunity to write the theme for the movie, as he'd written Holiday Road, the theme for Vacation. But he declined because he didn't want to be known as only a soundtrack musician. You already were in Fleetwood Mac, you're fine. But whatever, that's cool.
That doesn't change.
Yeah, they don't.
Lindsay,
yeah,
like,
you're not going to be Danny Elfman. Danny Elfman is not known for being in a band, but he was in a very successful band. But he never went back to them.
Would you consider Oingo Boingo?
I mean, they were more like one-hit wonders, but they were successful enough that people remember them.
I can give you Dead Man's Party. I can't pull anything else.
There are other songs. I can't pull it because, frankly, the only one I liked was Dead Man Party, and that's marginal at best, but they were somewhat successful.
I'm just saying, in comparison to Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, I know.
All right.
Believe me, everyone can name more than one Fleetwood Mac song, but, yeah, no, I got your point. But still. But that's why I said he's not.
Yeah.
Danny Elfman. The song entitled Christmas Vacation, that was written for the movie by the husband-wife songwriting team of Barry Mann and Cynthia Vale, as well as Randy Newman, and performed by Mavis Staples of the Staples Singers fame. Here's the weird one. Jeremiah Chechik, in an interview, also claims that the song was produced by then Warner Music artist, His Royal Badness himself,
Of course
Prince,
it was. Of course it was.
and recorded at Paisley
How many
Park.
pies he had his fingers in? Both literally and metaphorically speaking.
It is believed to be true, but no one can actually confirm this.
And now you need a Ouija board.
Kinda, yeah. So I like to believe that, because you know what? If you listen to that movie...
Christmas.
You know what? If you
That's
listen
good,
to
Prince. That's a good job.
It's probably true. But if you listen to the song, it's kind of funky, so it actually could kind of work. You know what I mean?
Plus you get like a soul singer sing it, right?
Yeah, and
Staples'
that's...
song,
who else would you get, right? It makes perfect sense.
Because who other than Prince is going to pull Who was it? Mavis Staples?
Mavis Staples.
Who's going to pull
Just
that name?
one of the Staples.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of weird, but it's true. I mean, of anyone. I mean, although at the same time, it could have been like Vanity. So.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. He made a better decision if it was Prince.
Yeah.
Anyway. So the legacy of this film. The movie debuted at number 2 in the box office while grossing $11,752,003 during the opening weekend, behind Back to the Future Part 2. The movie eventually topped the box office charts in its third week of release and remained at number 1 the following weekend. It was the highest grossing film of in the series until the release of Vacation in 2015.
Sorry, that was just an involuntary reaction.
Not that bad, but not good. I wouldn't call it as bad as you're saying, but I certainly didn't love it by any stretch.
I think I'm mad because I paid for it. That's why
that might be the thing. I definitely watched it on like Netflix or something on an afternoon, and I was like, yeah, that's not too bad.
I like Ed Helms, too. So.
Yeah, but his movie work is sketchy at best anyway.
Although, Chris Hemsworth was funny in that movie.
Chris Hemsworth is usually funny.
Yeah.
At the time of the film's release, the film received mixed to positive reviews. However, over time, many have cited it as a Christmas classic. Me. Just saying.
Who wouldn't?
Roger Ebert of the Times
this guy
gave the film 2 out of 4 stars, saying, "The movie is curious in how close it comes to delivering on its material. Sequence after sequence seems to contain all the necessary material to be well on its way toward a payoff, and then it somehow doesn't work."
I think we're gonna butt heads with this guy fucking from beyond the grave.
Wait till next week.
Oh.
But he gets called out on it.
Good.
By the main star.
Right.
I've got all that in there. I got all that in there.
Who wouldn't? If anyone's going to call him out.
That's right. The film has become a modern Christmas classic and considered by many as the best Christmas movie ever. If you turn on TV right now, it might be playing.
There's a chance.
Mm-hmm. It's playing in many theaters right now across Toronto. I'll tell you that much.
Yes, sir. So's next week's.
Yeah. It really is. Now, I don't normally do this, but I kind of had to put this in there because this is kind of amazing. A clip of It's a Wonderful Life, which is considered to be the best Christmas movie by a lot of people, is directed by Frank Capra.
Which makes no sense because, like...
It's only about 3 seconds of it's in Christmas.
Yeah, like the last 10, 15 minutes.
It's really not a Christmas movie.
It's a great movie.
Yes, but it's not a Christmas movie.
I'm not saying.
And people question Die Hard. Fuck you.
Yeah.
But it was directed by Frank Capra. His grandson, Frank Capra III, was second assistant director on Christmas Vacation.
Oh, okay.
That's exactly why I had to include it. I'm like, that's kind of interesting. All right.
Those are big shoes.
Yeah. The term Griswold house soon became part of the American vernacular to describe a house that is overly decorated in a gaudy fashion to observe Christmas. There was a fucking Griswold house on my street. It was fucking nuts.
There's a Griswold house on most people's streets.
When I was growing up, there was a house that was a couple blocks down that was pretty much 25,000 imported Italian twinkle lights on his fucking house. It was insane.
Yeah, we got a house in my neighborhood like that. I mean, back in the day when I was a kid, my street would have a competition.
Mm-hmm.
So superintendents of buildings, especially the one that kept winning every year, would literally buy lights for people, go into their units, and hang them up.
I believe that. There was one
She won every year, though, so...
There was one that was always cool that was there mostly for New Year's. It was there year-round because it was literally a placard above their garage. But it was, stretched in lights, it was a champagne bottle and a champagne glass. And they had 4 or 5 lights in between to show the bottle pouring. And they were twinkling lights. So it looked like it was pouring a bottle of champagne. They kept that up. That was up year-round. And then they would just turn it on at Christmas time. We would look at that every year. It was kind of nuts. It was literally around the corner from the house I lived in growing up. So if you happen to know that house, let me know, because that'd be awesome. I'd like to meet you finally. Weirdly enough, all the times we would go looking at Christmas lights, we never went, hey, that's kind of cool, but whatever. The film has been released on home media 7 different times. VHS Laserdisc in the early 1990s, a barebone DVD in 1997, and a special edition DVD in 2003. HD DVD as well as Blu-ray editions were released in 2006. In 2009, a second Blu-ray of the film was released as an Ultimate Collector's Edition. At the same time of this release, it was also released as on a simple Blu-ray DVD combo. A Steelbook Blu-ray was released in 2015.
I think I just have the bare bones Blu-ray.
I
know because when I put it in, it literally the movie just starts.
Honestly, all I have is the DVD 4-pack of all the vacation movies, or at least the ones that matter. That's all I've got.
That's good.
Yeah. It's not really a movie series that you're like, I need this to be in high definition.
Oh,
nah, we're good.
So we get to National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Yes, you say the whole thing like A Tribe Called Quest.
You do.
With that awesome cartoon opening. It's great. Santa
it's fantastic.
Getting beat up.
Yeah, Santa is Clark Griswold, apparently.
Yeah.
And
who knew Santa was a physical comedian?
Yeah, and a good one at that. Yeah, just can't get through anything. Can't get, for some reason, doesn't park the sled on the house and falls off the roof and then climbs up the Christmas lights, which I'm not sure how that works. Gets electrocuted, goes down the chimney, lights himself on fire. That wakes the kids up. He tries to fucking jump out using the couch cushion. He goes through the fucking roof. Radios Rudolph on his candy cane, which is one of my favorite gags in the whole movie.
And his nose glows as a radio.
As if he's getting the radio.
Signal. And then we begin the film. Like I was saying off the mic to Steve, I noticed something here. A good portion of the beginning of this movie are just kind of just these small vignettes.
Yeah.
Christmassy vignettes.
Well, there is a through line. But yeah, it's and this is what happened with European Vacation. They did the exact same thing. They couldn't do it with the first Vacation because that was literally an entire road trip, so you couldn't really do vignette type of things. But this was, each day is its own challenge, and that was clearly purposely set up.
Yeah.
Where it was like, here's what happens this fucking day.
Yeah.
And then they would cut to an advent calendar where they're opening the door for each day. And yeah, this is what the whole movie is. It's like, okay, here's what happens on Tuesday, December 14th. And this is what we deal with, you know?
So we do begin with the Griswold family traveling in their patented minivan, station wagon.
Yeah. Different station wagon, but it's the old front wheel drive sleigh.
Going to get the old Griswold family Christmas tree. They are accosted on the road by some truckers being dickheads.
By douchebags, yeah.
Why not truckers? They're in a
pickup truck, and they're clearly just like inbred hicks.
Fucking with them, they're brake checking them.
Yeah.
He gives them the finger. Look, kid's a deer.
Look, kid's a deer, and then he gives them the finger, and then
making the most cartoonish face I've ever seen a human make.
It's really good. And then he basically decides, even though I've got my kids in the car, I'm gonna beat them, and I'm gonna go around. I'm gonna leave them behind in my station wagon.
Yeah.
And fuck these guys, because apparently this is how Clark lives. And Ellen the whole time is like, would you stop, you asshole? She doesn't say it that way, but that's basically what they were getting at. And then he wins the race, if you will. And he's in front, he's like, I got this. And he starts singing. And then Russ looks back and sees a big, giant, a bigger than I've ever seen truck driving behind. And he just goes, Dad, they're back. And Clark doesn't see the truck.
Yeah.
So he starts racing again, and then doesn't see the big giant truck show up. He's like, I'm going to get around them, and not paying attention, drives underneath the wheels of the truck.
Yep.
So somehow, and this is why I'm saying it's the biggest truck I've ever seen, because I've never heard of a
truck
station
big
wagon
enough to hold a station wagon underneath its chassis.
Exactly. Yeah. And they're driving in it, and it's amazing, because there's no CGI. So this happened.
Yep.
Some asshole did this.
Yep.
This is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. And
Ellen starts praying to God
and insulting Clark at the same time. Just
basically calling him an idiot. Yeah. He knows not what he does. Please.
And I enjoy that Audrey's just like, how they're, guys, don't fight.
Yeah, it's like we're all going to die.
Yeah, because she was just like, Clark, didn't you see that this was going to happen? She's like, Clark, we're stuck under a truck. He's like, do you honestly think I don't know that?
Drives off out of the truck. Almost into a fucking
like a snowplow.
The snowplow,
and then hits a snowbank, and they're
Dukes of Hazzard style,
just sailing through the air, and they land at the Christmas tree lot. That was good.
Crashing
timing.
Into the Christmas tree farm.
Yeah,
and electing not to get any of those trees.
No,
they're crappy and garbage.
They're overpriced and half dead.
Well,
we're not getting those. So they start walking through the Arctic tundra.
No, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
Was the plan always to get their own tree, or was the plan to go to the farm, they get to the farm, they see it's all crap,
yeah, I'm
going to go get my own tree?
My guess is, if I had to guess based on the conversation they have where he's just like, overpriced dead trees, I think